Okay, week 11. Let's see what we're going to study in this video lesson. What we will learn. First, we're going to review the common writing mistakes from the last video lesson. And then we are going to talk about the writing assignment, part 2 of 3, 5-paragraph draft essay. The draft essay is worth 5 out of 20 points. The first part was the proposal paragraph where you chose your topic and you briefly wrote to me about what you were going to write about. And then this part is the draft. Now the draft means first attempt. It is not the final essay. The final essay will be worth 10 points. This is the draft attempt. It is the first attempt. So you will write a draft essay and you will send it to me. I will check it. I will send it back to you with some comments, and then later you will write your final essay. Right, first of all, let's review the common writing mistakes exercise that I sent to you last week. So this was the final slide of the video, and this was also in the attachment that I sent to you on Smart Campus. So it says, read this short passage and try to find the mistakes. Circle, underline, or write them down. And then here is the week 11 video. Okay, so did you find the mistakes? There are 14 mistakes. 14. So, this is my suggestion. If you did not do this yet, stop the video now and search this passage and see if you can find 14 errors, 14 mistakes. If you did do it, but you only found 8 or 9 mistakes, then stop the video and just search one more time. And then the next part of the video, the next slide, I will go through the answers. But please make sure you try to find them yourself first. Okay? This is supposed to be a video lesson that is interactive. So please make the effort to try to find the mistakes. And then when you are ready, move on to the next part of the video. Okay, so here are your 14 mistakes. I've highlighted them for you. And what I will do now is I will read the passage and I will simply give you the correct answers. Okay, so here we go. I remember the first time I fly on an airplane. So number 1, fly should be past tense because it says I remember. So that means it is a memory. I remember the first time I flew on an airplane. Because the noun airplane begins with the letter A. A is a vowel. There are 5 vowels in English. A, E, I, O, U. And almost always, if you use a noun starting with a vowel, the article that comes before it will be an, A-N. An, not a. Okay, so I remember the first time I flew on an airplane. Next sentence, I am should be I was because it is past tense. I was 18 years old and I was going on a 9-month round the world backpacking trip with my best friend. Now that part is actually okay. Some students thought that there was a mistake there But it is basically, I was going on a trip. But the name of the trip is a 9-month round the world backpacking trip. So that part is okay. There's no mistake there. We were both very excited, but also nervous. Now look at number 4, because. So we don't want to start a new sentence with the word because. And in this case, you can make it one sentence. So it should read, we were both very excited, but also nervous because, one sentence, because it was the first time to fly on an airplane for both of us. You could say for the both of us, but sometimes you can remove the article. So in this case, if we remove the and just say for both of us, it's okay. Next sentence. Our parents drove us to the airport in London and, right now there is an incorrect capital A because after London it is a comma, it is not a full stop or a period. So after a comma, you don't use a capital letter. Now that was a very common mistake that I saw a lot. So be careful. You do not need a capital letter after a comma unless you are using what we call a proper noun. So in this case, let's make it one sentence. And let's just use and with a small a. So it should be in London and we had a final meal with them before saying goodbye. The plane was huge and our seats were at the very back of the it. So that is an incorrect use of the. We do not need any article there. It should just say at the very back of it. Next sentence starts with and. We do not want to start a new sentence with and. So in this case, we can use the word also. Also, I thought that was good because I read. Right, now number 8 is quite difficult, but this is actually a case where we should use the grammar, the past perfect. The past perfect is where you talk about two events that happened in the past that are related to each other, but one happened before the other. And the past perfect, you use the word had and then a past participle. So it should read, I thought that was good because I had read that the back part of a plane is the safest part. When the plane take off, that needs to be past tense. When the plane took off, I felt scary. Scary needs to be scared, past tense. I felt scared, but once it was up in the sky, I relaxed and started to enjoy the experience. I watched several films and also enjoyed the food. However, the worst thing was the turbulence. When the plane started to shake violently, I was terrifying. Right, number 11 is the wrong form of the adjective. It should be ed, terrified. My hands were very sweaty and my heart was beating so fast. But, right, number 12, don't start a new sentence with but. So in this case, we can make it one sentence. So just make it a small b. But luckily it didn't last for long and most of the flight was calm and smooth. I was able to slept a lot. That is wrong. I was able to sleep a lot. Last sentence, finally we arrived. That should be past tense. Finally we arrived at our final destination of our long backpacking trip, Zimbabwe. Okay, so that is actually a true story from my first experience on an airplane. And hopefully you can avoid these mistakes in your writing. Okay, so now let's move on to the final essay draft. Now, what you can do is also check the week 7 essay structure video, because in that video I also talked about the 5-paragraph essay. That one, the topic was how to stay healthy. Okay, so you can use this video to help you. But also, I'm going to give you another example essay today in this lesson. And I'm going to give you more detail about what to include in your essay draft. I know we're doing a lot of writing lessons, but this is the time in the semester where we usually do the writing test, and it's worth quite a lot of points. Okay, so we have to do a little bit more writing preparation. Alright, so the writing assignment, part 2 of 3, the 5-paragraph draft essay, and it is worth 5 points. Right, very important. You're going to write your draft essay into an email. Now for this one, please do not attach a Word document or a HWP file. If you want to use those programs, you can write your draft essay, but then what I want you to do is to copy and paste it directly into an email. Or you can just write it directly into an email. Now the reason for this is that I will be getting a lot of essay drafts, maybe about 150. It's very time consuming to check them, but it's even more time consuming to open up Word files, HWP files, check them, save them, put them into a new email, send them back. So please, to help me, please put your draft essay directly into the email. This is only the draft, it is not the final copy. Okay, and then I can open your email and I can see your draft essay, and then I can correct it and send it back to you. In the email subject, please put draft, your class day and time, your student number, and your name. Okay, now this is what you need to have basically in your essay. So in the introduction, you're going to need to have a title, a hook, background information, your thesis, which is your opinion, and you're going to just generally tell me about your reasons. In the body 1, you need a topic sentence, and then you need your supporting sentences and a closing sentence. Okay, and in this example, I'm going to show you how you can have a support A, a support B, and then a support 2A and a support 2B, and then a closing sentence. And then for body 2, you just repeat it, topic sentence, support 1A, support 1B, support 2A, support 2B, closing. And then again, in the third body, you just repeat. In your conclusion, you're going to restate your thesis, restate your opinion, restate the reasons, and then give us a closing comment. Okay, so here we go. Parts of the introduction. Remember, this is an example essay. Week 7, I gave you an example, which was, the topic was how to stay healthy. And this one is about Starbucks coffee. So the title is Starbucks coffee for this example. Your one is going to be about the topic that you sent to me. You have to check what was your topic proposal. That is going to be related to your title. Okay, so this one, the title is Starbucks coffee. And here are the different parts of the introduction. So we've got the hook, we've got some background information, we've got the thesis, which is my opinion. There's the reason 1, the reason 2, and the reason 3. That is actually one sentence. Right, so what I will do in the next slide is I will put all of these parts together, and then there will be an example of an introduction. So here it is, the written example. Title, Starbucks coffee. First sentence, indent. Look at the first sentence. There is a space which indicates the start of a new paragraph. And then you have your hook. Do you agree that Starbucks is the best coffee? Starbucks Corporation is the biggest multinational chain of coffee houses in the world, and according to Wikipedia, in 2019 they recorded a revenue of over $25 million. I disagree that Starbucks should be considered the best coffee. It's too expensive, there are many other choices, and its taste is too strong. Right, so let's just quickly review here. Each sentence is a different part of the introduction. The first sentence is the hook. The second sentence is the background information, and I have included some reference there. Remember, you need to use some references. You need to research. So in this one, there is a little bit of research using Wikipedia. At the end of your essay, you're going to have to show me where you got this information from. Okay? So you need to copy and paste the website URL. So I have copy and pasted the Wikipedia page, and at the end of the essay I will copy and paste that. So the second sentence is some background information. The third sentence is the thesis, that is my opinion. And then the last sentence outlines my reasons. That is called a preview. Okay, so that is an introduction for this example essay. Let's move on to body 1. Body 1, which is actually paragraph 2. And again, here are the different parts. So you're going to have a topic sentence, and then I'm going to support my topic sentence with some reasons. And I'm going to support it with reason 1A, 1B, and then 2A, 2B. And a closing sentence. Alright, so here are my different parts of the body paragraph. And as you can see, I've underlined some of the language that you should use. Now this is language that we have already studied. Supporting details. Remember, you can use examples, according to, reported by. And you put it all together, and the next slide will be the full body 1 paragraph. So let's move to that and I will read it. Okay, body 1, written example. First, comma, Starbucks. Now look, there is a capital S there. Why is there a capital S? Because that is what we call a proper noun. A proper noun is the name of something. So in that case, you can use a capital letter. But I've already told you, usually after a comma, you should use a small letter. Okay, so this is an example of a proper noun. Look in the second sentence. It says, for example, comma, when. When has a small w. That is because it is not a proper noun. So you've got to be careful with your capitalization. Okay, so let's read it. First, Starbucks coffee is too expensive. That is my reason, that is my topic sentence, and now I'm going to support it. Starbucks coffee is too expensive. For example, when I buy an iced Americano from Starbucks, it costs 4,600 won. According to Market Insider's website, Starbucks coffee is on average 38% higher than its competitors. However, if I make my own coffee, it only costs about 200 won. Business Insider magazine reported that the average cost of making your own coffee is only about 200 won. Therefore, I believe Starbucks coffee is overpriced. Right, so we've got the topic sentence and then we have the supporting details. And in this paragraph, there are two references. There are two separate sources of research. There is the Market Insider's website and there is the Business Insider magazine. So remember that you have to use some research in your essay, and you have to use at least 3 different sources. Okay, so that is my body 1, and it is quite strong. As you can see, I've given my opinion, my topic sentence, and then I have supported it, and I have used some references and some research. Let's move on to body 2. Paragraph 3. Now the content, the parts of the paragraph, they're the same. Every body paragraph has the same topic sentence, supporting details, and a closing sentence. Okay, a little bit of different language. So in this one, it's a fact. In my experience. Remember, you can talk about personal experience. Let's put all of this together and let's look at the next slide. Here is the written example of body 2. Next, comma. There are many other coffee shops to choose from. It's a fact that in Korea, there are many large name brand coffee shops and smaller independent coffee shops. In my experience, I have never been to a country with so many coffee shops. In my opinion, Standing Coffee in Gyeongnidan, Itaewon, has the best coffee. When I lived in that area, every day people were lined up to buy coffee there, which I believe shows it is the best coffee. Starbucks is not the best coffee because there are better options. Okay, so again, this is a good body paragraph. There is the topic sentence, and then there is support. And in this one, most of the support is about my experience. Using your experience is also a good way to support your topic sentences. Okay, so just check the language of this example and try to use some of your personal experience as supporting details in your 5-paragraph essay. Okay, let's move on to body 3. Again, we've got the topic sentence and we've got the support. And here are the different parts. You're going to use transition words. So those are the words which start the paragraph. So the last one we had next. This one starts with finally. And then again, we're going to support with different reasons. Let's put it all together. Body 3, written example. Finally, comma. Starbucks coffee taste is too strong. According to my friends, family and I, Starbucks coffee has a very bitter taste compared to other coffee shops. The magazine, Consumer Reports, did a blind taste test, and most people chose other coffee as having a better taste than Starbucks. In my opinion, Starbucks over-roasts their coffee beans, and this creates an unpleasant flavour. On consumerreports.org, one Starbucks barista states that Starbucks roasts their coffee beans to be darker, which is what creates the bitter flavour. This is one of the reasons why I dislike the flavour of Starbucks coffee. Right, so this is also a good paragraph. We start with the topic sentence and then we support it. And we've got personal experience according to my friends, family and I. And then also we've got some research. This time it is a magazine, Consumer Reports. And then we've also got something from consumerreports.org. Both of these are actually from the internet. And again, I have copy and pasted the URLs, and at the end I will show you where I got all of this research. And that is important. You have to show me where you got your research from. But yes, this is the final paragraph for the body. And what comes next is the conclusion. So, conclusion is paragraph 5. Now remember, in the conclusion, you are not going to give us any new information in terms of new research. The conclusion is all about summarizing and wrapping up the essay. So what have we got? Restate the thesis, restate the reasons, and a closing comment. And we're going to use words like in conclusion, and we're going to just summarize the reasons, and then we want to have a sort of closing comment. Now the closing comment is somewhat similar to the hook. The hook starts the essay and gets the reader's attention, and the closing comment should give the reader something to consider or think about when they finish your essay, so that it sticks in their mind. Right, let's put this all together. In conclusion, I believe Starbucks coffee is not the best coffee. Starbucks is too expensive, there are many other coffee shops, and its taste is too strong. Now here's the final closing comment. When I want to enjoy a delicious coffee, I choose a different coffee shop than Starbucks. How about considering your own coffee options? Right, so it's a short conclusion, but it works fine because it summarizes my opinion, it summarizes my reasons, and it gives a closing comment. Right, now here is the bibliography of references. Okay, so you need to give me something like this at the bottom of your essay. After you finish the conclusion, you can just put a new title, Bibliography of References, and here you can just copy and paste the URL of the websites that you are using for your references, for your research. So I used 5 different references. Now you only have to use 3. 3 is the minimum. If you want to use more, you can. But I used Markets Insider, Wikipedia, Business Insider Magazine, Consumer Reports, consumerreports.org. Okay. And if you click on those, you will be able to find the information that I used in my essay. Okay, so that is your 5-paragraph essay. Now just some things to consider. You want to use what we call transition words or transition phrases. These are words like first, second or next, third or finally. In the body sentence, you might use things like, for example, it's a fact that, however, in my opinion, according to so-and-so reported that in my experience. Now you should review the supporting details worksheet and pages in your book, because we did study language that you can use when you are giving supporting details and supporting reasons. Closing sentence, you could use therefore to summarize. In your conclusion, in conclusion, to conclude. Okay, and then here's just a few things that we have already studied with the common mistakes. Don't start a sentence with so and but or because. Right, I added so as well, because you can use therefore, which is better than so. Instead of and, you could use also, furthermore, and the other ones that I already taught you. And instead of but, you can use however. And don't start a new sentence with because. Use it in one sentence. Basic grammar. Verb tense agreement. Punctuation. Correct use of commas and full stops. Capitalization. Starting every new sentence with a capital letter. Check the common mistakes video. Okay, because now that we have studied these common mistakes, if you make them, it could give you some minus points. All right, so you have to avoid these common mistakes. Right, so important, write your draft essay into the email. Do not attach a Word doc or HWP file. You can use those programs, but then please copy and paste directly into an email. Okay, email subject, draft, class day and time, student number, and name. And one more time, here are the parts of the essay. Right, so directions. Using your topic proposal, that was the introduction paragraph for the writing assignment, part 1 of 3. You have to write your 5-paragraph draft essay into an email. Email it to me. The deadline is May the 19th. That is 1 week later. Okay, you have 1 week to do this. Now, this is quite a large assignment. It's going to take you some time, so you should probably start as soon as possible. But it is only the draft, okay? This is not the final essay. So don't worry if it is not complete. If you just have some ideas, but you're not quite sure how to finish them, it's okay. You can just send that to me. This is the draft. This is the first attempt. Okay, but it is worth 5 points out of 20. Your whole writing project is worth 20 points. This part is worth 5 points. Again, this is not the final essay. The final essay is worth 10 points, and you will write that after I send you back your draft. And I will give you a new deadline for the final essay. So this is your first attempt. This is the first draft, and the deadline is May 19th. And please, 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 please follow these directions as I have given them to you. Okay, that's it. That's the end of this one. Good luck, everybody. See you next time.